Welcome back, everyone. Recently, there was a comedy event that happened in Saudi Arabia, and it feels like that every comedian under the sun was paid six and sometimes even seven figures to be there. Now, I don't really care about these comedians getting paid. I mean, let's be honest, will anyone be surprised if I told you that this guy took Saudi oil money to perform? If you give this motherfucker a check with enough zeros, he will perform at your college graduation and give you a happy ending. So I don't really give a shit. But one of these comedians was Bill Burr. And yes, it is the virtue signaling Bill Burr.
Can you fucking believe that? How much fucking money do you need to make, you know? You're gonna take a gig where you're gonna go dance like a goddamn fucking clown for a mass murderer's kids?
I mean, he's the same Bill Burr who in 2011 said this.
Comedy show in like Saudi Arabia. Isn't that what they do? You know, that's how they raise money with their filthy fucking oil money.
If it's coming into my bank account, it's not filthy anymore. I guess he forgot that Saudi Arabia was behind the 9/11 attack, and also that Saudi Arabia has modern slavery, but that doesn't make it blood money for some reason. And last time I checked, Bill Burr was definitely against people taking blood money.
Then you take that fucking blood money and what he's done. Yeah, you couldn't remember that he claimed he was behind the Pan Am bombings that killed fellow Americans? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I guess I'm being a bit too harsh. Let's be honest, if it didn't personally affect me, did it really happen? Cause the money that hit my bank account, well, that really affected me. So it's not really blood money. Now, I'm not really surprised that any of these comedians took the money, but if they came out and said, hey, the money was good, so I took it, I would have at least respected them a bit. Something that I respect Pete Davidson for.
I've been getting a little bit of flack just because like my dad died 9/11, so they're like, how could you possibly go there? I just, I get the routing and then I see the number and I go, I'll go.
Don't get me wrong, I would have respected them a lot more if they had the spine to stand on their morals. Something that Shane Gillis and I don't know how to pronounce her name, so out of respect, I'm not going to. These comedians had the spine to actually stand on what they believe in. And with everything going on, a clip from Shane Gillis has gone viral.
They were asking me to go to the Middle East soon.
What? Where? Why?
Saudi Arabia and UAE or Dubai.
Dubai?
I think I'm gonna pass.
Was it really that hard? Aren't you like a millionaire already?
Can you fucking believe that? How much fucking money do you need to make, you know?
And instead of just saying that the money was too good, he just doubles down, saying that it was a top 3 experience for him. Well, if you get paid enough blood money, anything can be the best experience.
Comedy show in like Saudi Arabia. Isn't that what they do? You know, that's how they raise money with their filthy fucking oil money.
And then I'm just like going like, I thought this place was going to be like really tense. And I'm thinking like, is that a Starbucks next to a Pete's Coffee, next to a Burger King, next to a McDonald's, next to a Pizza Hut, next to a Dunkin' Donuts, next to a Krispy Kreme, next to a Cheesecake Factory, next to a KFC, next to a Chili's? They got a fucking Chili's over here?
I wonder how he will react if anyone told him there is a KFC in Yemen.
Is there a KFC in Yemen? No way, dude! Holy fuck! There's a KFC in Yemen! He's just like us!
Just a few months ago, this guy was crying how billionaires are the problem. And because of them, an average worker has to get 2 jobs. And because of this, billionaires need to be put down like dogs.
Tired of hearing about people going to bed worried about what's going to happen next week. There is so much fucking money in this country. And there's so much work being done, you know. And if you work a full fucking week at a job, you should be able to pay your fucking rent. You shouldn't have to go out and get a fucking job and still be struggling. It's bad for the country. At least these fucking billionaires, they need to be put down. You know, like fucking rabid dogs. They're like rabid with fucking greed and just going out and just dividing everybody.
Well, he's not going to talk like this from now on, that's for sure. But in all of this, there is another comedian that I don't see a lot of people actually talking about. My boy Dave. And I really think he got brainwashed once that money hit his bank account. Because my god, I have not seen this level of delusion. This is what delusional Dave is saying. Dave Chappelle deliberates over do's and don'ts of free speech in America, deeming it easy to talk in Middle Eastern nations than back home in States. Right now in America, they say that if you talk about Charlie Kirk, you'll get cancelled. If you think being cancelled in America is the worst thing that can happen to you, motherfucker, you need to check your privilege. And what do you mean, easier to talk in Middle Eastern nations? The money for this event is coming from a Saudi prince. And to be a part of this event, you have to censor yourself. You cannot make jokes about Saudi Arabia, you cannot make jokes about their royal family or their legal system or even their government. Is this your definition of easier to talk? Delusional Dave? You can easily do all of this in America. You can make fun of Trump, you can make fun of your entire legal system. Sure, you might get cancelled, but at least you won't get fucking executed. Cause yes, they executed a journalist for exposing corruption within the Saudi royal family. Oh, and the court that gave the judgment has a history of unfair trials that result in death sentences. And Delusional Dave here is scared of being cancelled. Oh, and there's more. A comedian by the name Tim Dillon was actually supposed to perform in this event, but got fired. Why? Because he made a joke about slavery on his podcast in America. So not only are you supposed to censor yourself while you're performing, but also you are supposed to censor yourself in America. And then Delusional Dave here says that it is easier to talk in Middle Eastern countries. At the end of the day, I wouldn't have really made this video if only they had a spine to stand on their principles, on what they preach. Anyway, that's it for today.